everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Magical Jill, and today, me and my husband Jay are going to be talking about Dreamlight Valley!
Disney Dreamlight Valley, a game that like I said before, never expected to be this good. It's basically like Animal Crossing's superior younger brother.
It is superior, I tell you what. So, for today's video, I wanted to talk about 5 villagers that I think would be so amazing to have in Disney Dreamlight Valley. Like for them to add into the game, make realms for them, and then give them quests. These are like my top 5 most wanted people. So before we get into it, I did want to say first, I hope that you guys like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. And also, I have a question of the day. So,
question of the day!
What Disney character would you want to see the most in Disney Dreamlight Valley?
And why is it the Song of the South protagonists?
Oh yeah, why is it the Song of the South protagonists? Number 5! So for number 5, I have Winnie the Pooh on my list because I definitely think that he would fit in well with all of the other Dreamlight Valley villagers because he is so kind and caring and helpful, and I think that could open up a lot of really fun, enjoyable quests that have a lot of references to the TV show and the movies. And I just think that would be so much fun to see him interacting with people like Stitch, to see him interacting with like maybe Belle and Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse. I just think it would be so much fun and so cute.
Also, he's a character that I think they don't do enough with anymore.
Yeah.
The last major thing I remember from him, even though he is still at, the Disney theme parks, is something like Christopher Robin, the movie, which was a little more, not a dark take on the character, but more of a look at Christopher Robin, and Winnie the Pooh was in the film. Mm-hmm. Very good movie. But in terms of actual Winnie the Pooh content, they don't really make shows anymore. They don't really make movies much other than Christopher Robin, which was years ago at this point.
And I know Winnie the Pooh is a favorite for a lot of people who grew up with classic Disney. And it's not like they forgot about him, because in the most recent event, they made a popcorn bucket that you could get during the event that is Winnie the Pooh themed.
Well, and something I want to mention too is Winnie the Pooh's a character that I also think deserves more lighthearted content. Not that he can't be in stuff that's, got emotion behind it, but after he was adapted from the A.A. Milne version, the book version, into Blood and Honey and these horror movies, I kind of think Winnie the Pooh needs something nice. He
needs a resurrection of his Disney self to show people that he's actually a cute, good character and not something disgusting and perverted.
And a super edgy edgelord character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That really bummed me out, so I would love to see him here. And also, I did want to mention some of the footage we showed was probably from Kingdom Hearts, because, Winnie the Pooh fits really well in a game like that. He has crossed over to other franchises before, and he is adaptable to different environments because he's so kind-hearted, like you said.
Yeah. Number 4! So for number 4, this character is really close to my heart. It's Tinkerbell. I absolutely adore Tinkerbell. So I think that they would I think they would make her kind of small, but hopefully not so small that you can't see her, and I think they'd have her kind of flutter around the valley. And it would be so awesome to have a little fairy fluttering around the valley and have more Tinkerbell themed things like outfits and furniture and stuff, because they already have pictures of Tinkerbell and they have Tinker Fairy wings from the premium shop and some other things that are kind of based around Peter Pan and Tinkerbell that you can get in Dreamlight Valley. So I just kind of feel like it's a little weird to have such an iconic character, who, by the way, is always in like the main screen of Disney movies, like, where they like show the little castle and then they show Tinkerbell fly around.
I don't know if she is anymore, is she?
I don't know. She used to be. I just think it's weird to have such an iconic character not be in the game.
Well, that's something I wanted to mention, is that for a while, actually, there have been different mascots of Disney. For a while, Tinkerbell was kind of the face of Disney. Tinkerbell was getting those 3D animated films, which I'm sure you can speak to a little more than me, and at the time, she was at least poised as the home video mascot.
Yeah.
Where it was like these Blu-rays and DVDs were coming out. People loved those movies. They kind of expanded a little bit on the Peter Pan lore, and then they got canceled, I believe you said, because of the success of movies, it's at least theorized, like Frozen.
No, yeah, actually, because the Never Beast movie was the last Disney Fairies movie to come out. This is kind of a tangent, but basically it didn't do nearly as well as Frozen, and Frozen came out around the same time.
Yeah, but a lot didn't do as well as Frozen in that time period.
Yeah, so Disney stupidly just kind of thought, well, we'll just do more Frozen
People
stuff.
Don't like Peter Pan anymore, or Tinkerbell.
Like Tinkerbell. which is a huge shame because I love the Disney Fairies franchise, and so do so many other girls around my age who I know are playing this game. I think adding Tinkerbell in would be such an amazing thing. I would love to go to Pixie Hollow. They already added in her house in the most recent premium shop. As,
so
like,
another tease to her.
Yeah, as a way to, like, change your house to look like hers. So I just feel like with all of the teases to her, it'd be ridiculous to not add her into the game.
And my point, too, was, again, like Winnie the Pooh, this is a character that I think deserves better than she's gotten.
Yes.
You know, she kind of got relegated to the back burner, if even, after her movies got canceled. And Disney just doesn't do much with her.
Which, by the way, side interjection, Tinkerbell's movies were fantastic and should have never been canceled.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I stand on it, too. So it'd be nice to see a character like that was at one point a face of Disney come back in a game that's kind of celebrating all the eras, really, of Disney.
Number 3! So for this next one, this is my childhood favorite Disney character. He meant the world to me as a kid. Hercules. He was everything to me. I watched his movie so many times. I had the VHS of it. I watched it so many times that the VHS broke. I had like the little audio tape that you could put in an audio player on the go and listen to the story. I watched it over and over and over again and listened to it over and over again. That was like my favorite Disney movie of all time as a kid. And I just love Hercules. I love how noble he is. I love that he becomes a true hero. I love that he is like the embodiment of like heroism itself, you know? Like he wants to save people, he wants to be a good person. He was even willing to give up god status to be with his girlfriend Megara. And they already have a bunch of Hercules tease stuff in this game. You know, they added in Megara's dress. They have Hercules themed items already in the game. So I just think it's really silly to not have Hercules and possibly Megara in this game.
Hercules is also a character that, again, has worked in our franchises. Kingdom Hearts, you know, we'll mention it several times throughout this video, works very well in that. I would actually argue he is a central side character. Like, he's a world that you go back to over and over again because he has such an impact on Sora, the character. And I think he's this character who has an impact on a lot of people. His story, I would actually argue, is better than the original, the original tale. I prefer the Disney version over
I do too.
I also think that with Hercules, there's a lot of stuff people don't know about. You know, there's actually the animated TV show, which was about him being a teenager, you know, kind of working up to being a hero, which was a mid-quel type spin-off. So, like, there's a lot of supplementary material, too, but he just didn't show up here.
I also think his realm would be incredible.
Olympus.
Yeah, because you'd be able to go to Olympus pretty much. Philatides would have to be there. I don't know if they'd add him into the game, but he'd definitely have to be there. There's just so many iconic characters in Hercules that would work extremely well in Dreamlight Valley. Even if you added in Hades as a villain, I know you don't like Hades and you don't think he's redeemable at all, but the thing is, they already have unredeemable villains in Dreamlight Valley already, and he's so funny and iconic that I think he would work well amongst all of the other characters and add in a lot of really interesting quests along with Hercules. So I just think that it's kind of silly to not have like a whole Hercules themed season or something. You know, like that would be amazing. I think I'd die.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff you could do with that, especially with the Greek inspired sort of aesthetic, and
everybody loves that aesthetic, by the way.
Well, and it was Disneyfied too. Like, I think that the Greek aesthetic in the Hercules movie is very unique in that it is Greek-ish, but it's also cartoony.
Yeah.
And I thought that there's pretty much, the sky's the limit with that one.
Number 2! So the next one on my list is another character that I absolutely love from my childhood. It's Cinderella. She is, again, another face of Disney that I'm shocked is not in this, because she was, like, the first kind of Disney princess that was really a big deal. You know, like, everybody loves Snow White and all of these other Disney princesses, but Cinderella was a very big deal. When you think Disney princess, a lot of times you'll think Cinderella.
1950, by the way, I believe, or the 1950s was when that movie came out. And what I want to mention about that is I think it goes to show how prevailing and how everlasting that story is, especially the Disney version of it. Got multiple sequels, you know, which you really like.
I do really like the sequels. I don't know how other people feel about them.
I have no clue, but I do know that with her, you know, it's something where the animation of that movie still holds up to this day. People are excited to watch it again and again. this is an iconic character. And like you said, when you think Disney princess, this was pretty much the titular Disney princess, like the face of the Disney princess brand was Cinderella.
Yeah.
And yet, despite having some teases, didn't she show up, I believe, in an obscure launch trailer or something too?
She showed up in an obscure launch trailer along with Jack Sparrow, who, by the way, is also not in the game. There has been no mention of Cinderella being added to the game, except for the fact that there are Cinderella-themed items in the game, and you could have gotten a Cinderella dress if you bought, like, the Ultimate Edition, launch edition of the game back when it first came out, that you can't get anymore, by the way, which is really angering to me because I only recently just found out about this game.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they had to put my favorite Disney princess's dress behind that, but whatever. I just think that it's kind of silly that Cinderella's not in this yet, and to be honest, there's a really big lack of Disney princesses in general. I know they're adding in Tiana, and they just added in Mulan in the most recent update. And they have Belle, but there's not very many other Disney princesses. There's Moana, there's Elsa, there's Anna. That's like all of the ones that I can think of off the top of my head, but where are the classic ones? Where's Snow White? Where's Aurora? Where's Cinderella? You know, like, where are these, like, classic princesses that we grew up with?
Yeah, I really have no idea. I'm surprised at it. I'm also surprised that Tiana is supposedly coming before Cinderella.
I do think that's interesting. I
mean, I love Tiana, though.
I love Tiana, too, and I'm really excited for her. But I think that Cinderella could add a lot of really interesting stuff, especially since the fairy godmother's already in the game.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
I don't know. They did a lot of weird choices when they did the lineup for this game, and while I do really like this game, I find it a bit bizarre, some of the exclusions to it.
I find it bizarre that Fairy Godmother's in the game, but Cinderella isn't. And also, as a bonus, you could add in Prince Charming and just have him be called the Prince, because we all know he doesn't really actually have a name.
Right.
And you could give him more personality, which would be awesome, because they already gave a lot more personality to certain characters in this game than they had in their own movies.
There's no reason all the Disney princesses couldn't show up in this game.
I completely agree, and there's no reason why they couldn't just add in more realms if they needed to you know, like, or biomes, I mean, to have their houses in, because I know some people have their valleys already filled up. Number 1! Yay! Number 1! Woo! Last but not least, out of all of the characters on my list, I think this is the least likely to show up in Dreamlight Valley, because they love to forget about his existence. Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, so Sora's weird in terms of, I actually thought that he was partially owned by Square Enix. He's not.
He's owned by Disney.
Completely.
Yes.
And so this is something that also kind of is weird to me with Kingdom Hearts, where I've talked about it before with Kingdom Hearts moving away from their Final Fantasy characters and making up their own characters. Mm-hmm. My understanding is anything then that they make under Kingdom Hearts is just owned by Disney. Sora is technically licensed to Square Enix. When Sora was brought to Smash Bros., which was another game, you know, Nintendo, I believe Tetsuya Nomura kind of had to work with Disney to get permission to even do that.
Yes.
You wouldn't need that with this game because Disney owns this.
Disney owns the game.
They can put him in whatever they want. He uses a Keyblade. The Keyblade can open doors to the hearts of worlds. It can open doors to the hearts of people. You know, so he's kind of someone, even if you wanted to say, like, Sora shows up and he uses the Keyblade to unlock the power of goodness in Mother Gothel. I'm making something up. There's a lot you could do.
Awesome.
You know, you can use him to redeem.
You could do. Yes, yeah, 100%. Because, like, here's the thing. The entire premise of Kingdom Hearts is going around to these different Disney worlds and meeting different Disney characters and, like, helping things, right? Mm-hmm. What's Disney Dreamlight Valley? Having a bunch of Disney characters where you go to different realms and then you have them come back to your valley and you help people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people absolutely love him and love that franchise because they love Disney. It got them into it.
Well, and you know how ravenous the Kingdom Hearts fan base is, where, like, there will be a new image, like a new art piece released by Tetsuya Nomura, and Kingdom Hearts YouTubers are making videos about it and people are eating it up. And I'm not making fun of them. I'm saying that's how passionate these people are. I think that it would boost sales.
It would. It definitely would.
I think that Kingdom Hearts crowd that is so thirsty for new content that they're like salivating at the new mobile game coming out. I'm not kidding. They would be buying this game.
I think they would poop their pants if Sora came into this game.
I did earlier, and I didn't even need Sora to do it. I just sat in my chair.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. I'm sure I'd do it again.
I think there's also a lot of amazing quests you could do with him. You could continue the main story about the forgetting.
And you can fight the darkness in worlds and in people and things like that. You know, you could even have like a little thing with the Heartless. I know they don't want to have combat really in this game, it seems, but I do think you could have something where maybe like the Heartless are kind of showing up if you want to do a DLC type expansion, and they're kind of moving in, and you have Sora, maybe instead of hitting them, you know, he uses the Keyblade to banish them or something like that.
Yeah, and he uses his magic, and then maybe he gives you some sort of special tool, because they added in a tool in Eternity Isle, which was like the hourglass. They could give you a special like Keyblade or something in a DLC, and then your character waves it around and makes the Heartless go away. Instead of combat, she just presses A or something.
Well, and I would love to see kind of more Kingdom Hearts inspired outfits for you too.
Yes.
For your characters. Kingdom Hearts has such a unique aesthetic to it that plays off of a mixture of like Disney and Final Fantasy and elements of previous Square Enix games, that I don't know why you wouldn't put him in here, especially because he showed up in random games. Like, I think it was more of a Hail Mary for him to show up in Smash Bros, not owned by Disney. I think it was more of a weird case for him to be I believe a summon in World of Final Fantasy for a bit. He's shown up in random mobile games based on Final Fantasy, and my point is
he would make more sense in this game.
Exactly. This is a Disney game. He's technically a Disney character.
Yeah, and I'd love to see his house, and I think he'd be a great addition with a lot of really awesome quests. So I really hope you guys liked this video and you liked my top 5 picks. I would love to do some more videos like this where I talk about the 5 people who I think would never be in Disney Dreamlight Valley, or 5 more people that I'd be really interested in seeing in Disney Dreamlight Valley. So you guys have to let me know in the comments if you like this video, because I absolutely love this game. I hope to do more content on it.
And if you enjoyed this video, you leave a like, subscribe. There is other ways to help support this channel. We have a Fortnite code, which is DJAY123. That's basically named after my channel, actually. But we make those videos together as well. And we do also have a super special great shop, which is cosmobunny.shop. Jill, why don't you talk a little bit about that and why they should use code SAILOR, SAILOR, in all caps for 10% off their first order.
Yeah, you can use that for 10% off your first order, and it is really, really cool because I sell some really cool resin products on there. So I will take manga and comic books that are damaged and can't be sold in stores, and then I will turn them into coasters and keychains and ashtrays and other such awesome type stuff. So I really hope you go check that out, because there's some things in it that, you know, may or may not be similar to some of the stuff we mentioned in this video.
And you also have handmade beaded jewelry over there.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. So I hope you guys go check it out, because I put a lot of heart and love and soul into all of my things that I make. And I hope you enjoyed this video. So we'll see you on the next one. Bye!
Bye!